My music clearly still playing. The first one that came on I really like. Not that. This one I think. Okay, let's get to the video. Ooh, baby. Today we're going to talk about a juicy topic, which is manifesting. And I know that this is something that is super trendy, but it's just so not about saying you want something and then sitting on the couch and waiting for it to happen, as I think you logically know, although sometimes it kind of can happen that way. In this video, I want to take a more logical, scientific approach to how manifestation actually works so that we can make it make sense and then use it. So what you need to know is this: our mind is an incredibly powerful tool that we have access to, and with our mind, we can bring to form and create things into reality based on whatever we are thinking in our mind and, of course, our actions. Everything that exists was once a thought in someone's mind, and because it was a thought, it exists. So anything you think, you can create. In fact, whatever you are thinking, you are creating, because our thoughts create our reality. This is very important. My thoughts create my reality. In every moment, the thoughts that you are thinking are creating the story that you believe is your reality. And the thoughts that we think are most likely based on our past experiences and past memories. So if it's raining outside, you might tell yourself that it's a bad day, but a farmer who hasn't had a rain all summer might be singing glorious rain because he is having the best day he's had in months. You might tell yourself that a specific scenario was so lucky and you can't believe that happened, and the exact same thing could happen to someone else and they might be annoyed or feel like they were ripped off. So what you believe or think about either of these situations dictates your experience. And if we don't ever become aware to what we are thinking about the certain experiences that we are living, then we just let our mind run our life, and it's running our life based on our past experiences. Manifesting is just bringing something from thought into our physical reality. We're doing it all the time, it's just the thinking and the creating process. But I know the kind of manifesting that we want to talk about, or that we imagine when we think about this trendy word, is big life changes or money or experiences or relationships. And first, whatever version of that you're experiencing right now, whatever money, relationship, living situation you're experiencing right now, you already manifested that. And I know that can be a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but when we can take full responsibility for our experience on Earth and for being the creator of our reality, it is so freaking powerful. Because when we take ownership that we created this, then we know we can create that, whatever that thing is. If someone else created that, all they did was they kept practicing believing that they could have it for enough time. And again, depending on your past experiences, believing that that is possible is going to be a little bit trickier or a little bit easier. Because if I grew up seeing that it was possible to run my own business because my parents were entrepreneurs, then that's pretty easy. It was really part of my reality growing up, so it's easier for me to practice believing that I can have that. If you grew up in a situation where your parents worked for someone else and you want to work for yourself, but your parents and your grandparents and all of your aunties and uncles are all employed, then it might feel less possible to you based on your past reality, because you have been practicing believing that what is normal is working for someone else. But I know that wherever I am today, I created this by making thousands and thousands of micro choices every single day to get here. And maybe the action to go where I ended up wasn't actually what was making me happy, maybe it wasn't for my highest good, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't creating it. I chose it, you chose it, and the best news is we get to choose again. So manifestation comes from putting a plane just flew by. Manifestation comes from putting intention into something specific and then creating it in your life. This is also called the law of attraction, which suggests that we will attract whatever we are a true energetic match for. And our energy is dictated by our thoughts, and the thoughts we practice create our beliefs. Very important. So if manifestation means we can start to attract or call in whatever we want with a little bit of intention and practice, then how does that actually work? Like, how does that make sense? A very classic example of how this works in our brain is this. Say you decide that you want to upgrade from your little blue car to a white SUV. You're going to start thinking about this SUV, and then when you go out on the road, you're going to start seeing them everywhere. You're going to notice that your neighbor down the street has one all of a sudden, that you're seeing them on the road. You pull up in a parking lot and there's one on either side of you, and you're just thinking, were all of these here before? Of course they were, but when you intentionally decided that this was some experience or something that you wanted, then your brain goes, oh, this is relevant information now. Because before, your brain was sorting through, our brains are always sorting through millions, an unfathomable amount of information, and our brain needs to decide what comes into focus and what just stays out because it doesn't matter. So thinking about every car around you and what make and model it is and what color it is doesn't really matter. So for the most part, your brain is just letting that go by. But when you've decided that it is now important and relevant to you, that white SUVs come into your life, all of a sudden you're noticing them because you told your brain it was relevant. So every opportunity, every experience, everything we want to call in is infinitely available to us in so many ways, but when we put our focus and attention on it, then we can start to see where it exists. Here comes the plane. Goodbye. So then manifestation is just training your brain to filter in and out specific information so that we can take action on it. In theory, if I'm an energetic match for a business opportunity and someone is thinking about who they are going to email, I will come into their mind because I am literally an energetic match for what they want to create. And I become that energetic match through intention and through believing that this is something that I want and that I can have it. Intention is controlled by thoughts, and thoughts are creating our reality. We could look at this from a couple different points of view. Let's say I'm an energetic match for a business opportunity, but I don't think that I want it. That person still might email me, I might look at the email and be like, nah, the email still came to me because I was an energetic match for it on some level, but in my mind, I don't actually want it, so I'm just gonna delete the email or say no thank you. Because we are always only attracting what we are a match for. The person would have emailed anyway, but if you're not trying to call it in, or if it doesn't feel important to this mind, then you might just let it go by. It doesn't mean it was a missed opportunity, it just means you didn't want it with your thinking brain at that time. I feel like that might be a little bit confusing, but the law of attraction can never be wrong. So whatever you are attracting to yourself, that is what you are an energetic match for, and you might not think it's the same as what you want, but it's actually what you are in line with right now. So if you are trying to call in something and you're getting not that thing, then you might want to look a little bit deeper as to why you are attracting the things that you are. You might say you want $50,000, and in the pursuit of that money, you might find yourself struggling and miserable and not able to attract it. So then you have to ask yourself, well, why do I actually want this money? And maybe the answer is because you want to work less. You want to be able to take a break. So the actual true desire is wanting to work less and take a break, which means maybe you're not attracting opportunities for money that would require you to work more. If you were super clear on specifically what this money was for, as in this amount is going into savings, this amount is paying back a debt, this amount is going to buy something for my parents, then the money has a purpose, and the purpose isn't simply to work less. Make sense? Another example of not getting what you think you're an energetic match for might be in a relationship. So you might think you want someone who is ready for commitment because you're ready to be in a relationship, but then you keep attracting these people who aren't ready to commit. That's a really good time to look at the mirror and say, why am I attracting people that don't want to commit? It's probably because somewhere, something in me is afraid to commit. So now hopefully you understand how the law of attraction works and how our thoughts create our reality. So let's talk about embodying what you want to attract. Like I said, it's one thing to say, I am calling in or I am manifesting a partner who is considerate and loving and empathetic and encouraging and emotionally available, and then actually A, believing you can have that, and B, being an energetic match for it and embodying it. Because if you say, this is what I'm available for, but then your actions suggest that you are available for something less because you keep dating someone who doesn't treat you right, or you go out with people that you know aren't kind of like your end goal type of person, then all you're telling the universe is, never mind, this is good enough because I'm accepting this right now. And that's not embodying what you actually want. This is where creating really strong boundaries comes into play, but we will talk about that another time. So much to talk about. Embodying what you want means becoming and behaving like the person that you want to be. So if you want to be more warm and loving, you have to start being more warm and loving in real life with real humans. If you want to be more confident, you have to start being more confident. And that might be uncomfortable, but that is the work. When you say, I want to create this thing, I want to have this thing, I want to be this thing, I want to call in this thing, your intuition is going to say, okay, do this thing. And then you have a choice. If it feels uncomfortable or if it feels scary, are you going to do it? Because that's what you're asking for, or you're going to not do it. Because that's what's going to keep you where you are now. You told your brain you wanted an opportunity, you wanted to manifest something, your brain got you there, and then you have to decide, are you going to stay stuck or are you going to change to get this new thing that you want? What Joe Dispenza teaches is that we have to act and believe like we already have what we want, which comes with a deep amount of appreciation and gratitude for having that thing. For example, if your focus is to manifest more abundance through money, then you would focus on being so appreciative and grateful for all of the money that you have right now. This could look like journaling and writing down in the past tense, I'm so grateful for the wealth that I have. Or just speaking it out loud, I am so grateful for the abundance of resources available to me. Or thanking money every time you spend it or submit a payment, just saying thank you money, thank you money. Every time you tap your credit card, thank you money, I love you money. And of course, anytime you receive any payment, thank you money, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is also just a really good mindfulness practice because it makes you super present anytime you are interacting with money, because we all have a relationship with money, and this is a really good way to boost the gratitude and the appreciation in that relationship. And when something feels loved, it probably loves you back a little more. Okay, some people ask, how long does it take to manifest something? And time and manifestation aren't really things that make sense together. You can put a timeline on how fast you want to create something in your life, of course, and that will keep you within that goal because it keeps your intention very strong. Sometimes it can be super fast. For example, about a week and a half ago, I put out an intention to create $1,500 worth of random jobs because I wanted to put that towards the next trip that I'm going on. The next day, my friend texted me saying, I'm in a bind. I have to get this website out to a client. It's already late. I have so many things on my plate. Can you please help me? I will pay you $550. Then a couple days later, my sister asked me if she could rent my car while I was on my trip. And then I got another super easy side job, which just requires a couple hours a day for like 10 or 12 days, and it's also gonna pay between $500 and $700. Obviously, I said yes, yes, yes when these opportunities arrived. Ka-ching. Because my brain was now looking for these opportunities, none of which, by the way, are my normal work, I was able to be like, yes, yes, yes. Honestly, normally, I would say no to some of these jobs just because I don't really like them or I can't be bothered, but this is exactly what I was looking for. The opportunities came to me and I said yes. If I wasn't looking for those things, maybe I'm still an energetic match for them, but I'd probably just say no. So it doesn't mean that the opportunities don't exist, it's just what you are attracting. Sometimes manifestation can take months or years depending on what you're trying to create and how fast you become an energetic match for it. A good example of a bit of a longer period of manifestation that has come to fruition in my life is in October of 2019, I was writing in a journal all of these things that I wanted to call in. I was writing in the past tense, I am so grateful for, I am so grateful for. And when I finished that journal, I went back to the front page, this is about 6 months later, I went back to that page and looked at that and realized I had all of it. I have it on my Instagram stories and I'll put those in here. I was writing my May goals down in this notebook and it is now full. So I went back to the first page just to look at it and see like, you know, what I'd written, what I journaled about and stuff. So on October 21st, which was 5 days after I got to Bali, I wrote down these goals, and I like to write my goals as if they've already happened. So I'm going to read them as I wrote them, which was, I'm so grateful for the beautiful villa I share with incredible people who make me better. I'm so grateful for the clear path I have for my business. I'm so grateful that the universe puts every connection I need right in front of me. I'm so grateful for a funnel that I created in my business that brings in $2,300 Canadian a month. On this day, I had none of these things. That funnel was barely even a thought in my mind. And now I have every single one. Every single one. Insane. And if this wasn't convincing enough, you should probably do that exercise and you can see it happen for yourself. In both of these examples, I didn't necessarily think about it every single day, although I think that's a really good practice, but my intention was very clear that this is what I wanted to call in. Not everything that you ask to manifest or ask to create will come to you because you might not be an energetic match. But what's really important to incorporate in this desire manifestation process is gratitude. They really, really, really go hand in hand. And it kind of feels like a double-edged sword. And when I started thinking about this, I thought, if I'm so grateful for the money I already have, will I actually attract more money? But instead of seeing it as a double-edged sword, it's actually a win-win, because if I feel so grateful for the money that I have, then I already feel rich. And that's actually the goal, right? To feel satisfied, to feel wealthy, to feel happy, to feel protected and safe and sustained. It doesn't matter if I have 30 grand or 100 grand because I feel rich, and that's actually the goal. I get to be rich in this moment, and this moment is actually all we have, but then I become an energetic match for abundance because I always appreciate what I have, and what you appreciate appreciates. It's cute, right? It's true. All right, so now I want to take you through some practical tips for manifesting and what you can actually do in your life step by step, because I know that's always super helpful for any of these kind of abstract concepts. So one is intention. This just means getting clear, very clear on what it is that you want. Because you will always get what you want. You will always get what you're an energetic match for. So you have to be crystal clear on what that is. And the universe can be super cheeky about this. So if you are self-employed and you're looking for more clients and you just say, I want more work, maybe it means that one of your current clients creates something that you have to work double on to get caught up. Or maybe something else happens that is just literally putting more work on your plate, but not necessarily dollars in the bank account, if that's what your intention is. You want to be specific with saying, I am calling in 3 new dream clients who are ready to do the work with me. They're enthusiastic, they are willing and excited to pay, and ready to show up and do the work so that together we can change their life. Super clear. A second practical tip for manifesting is really just becoming aware of your thoughts, because our thoughts create our beliefs and our emotions and our reality. So we need to practice being aware of what those thoughts are, which just means in any given moment when you are feeling any type of way really, but let's say if you're feeling off, think about, what am I thinking right now? What story am I telling myself in a loop? Why am I not feeling confident? Why am I feeling anxious to go to this event? Or why am I feeling like I don't want to get on this Zoom call? What's really happening underneath? What is the story I'm telling myself? What is the belief that I'm telling myself and reminding myself of that I have about this situation? And then you can notice it. First of all, awareness is just noticing, and it's so powerful. Then we can start to shift and change those thoughts and practice new thoughts so that we can have new beliefs. Third is to surrender. So when you want to attract something in your life, if you are looking for that thing from a place of disparity and lack, you're actually pushing it away. So if you're saying, I want that thing because I don't have it, all you're saying is, I don't have it. And I don't have it means you don't have it, and you're probably not gonna get it, because I don't have it doesn't have it. This is again where the gratitude and appreciation piece comes into play, because you're saying, thank you for what I have. Thank you for the relationships that I already have. Thank you for this thing that is coming to me. Thank you for the wealth that I have. I'm so grateful for it, versus being like, I need this. I want it so bad, because that is from a place of saying, I don't have. And I know maybe you want something really bad. So in order to let go of that stress and disparity around it, you just need to surrender and trust that whatever is meant for you is coming to you. Your next practical tip for manifestation is visualization. This is a practice that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about all the time, specifically making something called a mind movie. And this is something that I've been doing, I think, for about a month now. And what I am creating in this mind movie, first of all, what it is you choose a song that's instrumental, one that you're willing to listen to every day, maybe multiple times a day, and you basically create your own music video in your mind to go along with this song. You create different scenes, and for what I'm doing right now, I'm imagining kind of the next 6 months and what I want to create in that, and I go through the song, and in the same order I imagine all of the same scenes, and I really just visualize it and feel what it feels like to be in those experiences and to have those things. It obviously leaves me feeling very creative and joyful and uplifted, and I think this is a really fun practice. But you could also do something like making a vision board that's super similar to having a mind movie, or journaling down every day what you want to create just with this intention, and writing down what your intentions are, writing down sentences. I am so grateful for this thing that I have, and really creating a picture in your mind around that so you can start embodying it. And of course, taking action. So when you set out an intention that you want to manifest or create something, then your brain is going to find opportunities for it to happen, but you have to really trust yourself and listen to when your intuition is telling you this is the opportunity you have to take action on in order for you to get that thing. And this is a hard practice, and it takes practice. All of this stuff is just practice. It's practice to be mindful, practice to be aware of your thoughts, practice to surrender, practice to trust. It's the whole game of being a human, but it is powerful. So if nothing else, I hope what you're taking away from this video is the truth that your thoughts create your reality, and we get to decide in every moment how we are interpreting every experience. We get to use our mind and our thoughts as a beautiful creation tool to create what we want in our life, and we get to choose again. We get to choose in every moment. You know now that manifestation does not mean just saying you want something, setting it and forgetting it and walk away, and it's just gonna show up in your mailbox. Although that could happen, it's so much more about being intentional, being aware of your thoughts, and choosing to take action. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is clear. If there's anything you want me to expand on, please leave a comment in the comment box below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, especially if you've made it this far, so I know who's watching this far, and also I know to make more videos like this that sort of expand on all of these thoughts, because there's so many different directions we could go. And I'd also love to know any cool manifestation stories you have, so leave those in the comment box too. Talk to you next week. Chat soon. Bye. I am so freaking thirsty.
They actually talk about everything I wanted to say. Pretty much, except for meditation, which we will talk about in a different video. And boundaries, 2 different videos, for sure.